Bow to advanced and intermediate level students. Before we begin, we have one award. Mr. Payne, up front. Mr. Payne with the blue sash and Kung Fu. Be sure to give Mr. Payne a nice, firm elbow bump after class and say, congratulations. All right. 100 jumping jacks.
Yes, sir.
Begin.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Push-up position.
Yes, sir.
First set of your best black sash push-ups.
Yes, sir.
Begin.
1, sir. 2, sir.
Hold the breath.
3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir. 6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 10, sir.
Oh, wait. Oh, God, let's see. Or the big dial to change the station, to change the volume. Second set.
Yes, sir.
Begin.
1, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir. 6, sir. 7,
Hold the breath.
sir.
Hold the breath.
8, sir.
Breathe.
9, sir.
There you go.
10, sir.
Very good. Last set.
Sir.
Begin.
1, sir. 2, sir.
3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir. 6, sir. 7, sir. 8,
Sir.
9, sir.
Sir. 10, sir.
On your backs for 15 kids.
Sir.
First set of 30. Begin.
1, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir. 6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 10, sir. 11, sir. 12, sir. 13, sir. 14, sir. 15, sir. 16, sir. 17, sir. 18, sir. 19, sir. 20, sir. 1, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir. 6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 10, sir.
Second set.
Yes, sir.
Begin.
1, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir. 6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 10, sir. 11, sir. 12, sir. 13, sir. 14, sir. 15, sir. 16, sir. 17, sir. 18, sir. 19, sir. 20, sir. 1, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir. 6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 10, sir.
Last set.
Yes, sir.
Begin.
1, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir. 6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 10, sir. 11, sir. 12, sir. 13, sir. 14, sir. 15, sir. 16, sir. 17, sir. 18, sir. 19, sir. 20, sir. 1, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir. 6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 10, sir.
Very good. Sit up. Reach straight out in front. And reach up. Bend forward, touch your toes.
Sir.
1, sir.
2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 10, sir. 11, sir. 12, sir. 14, sir. 15, sir. 16, sir. 17, sir. 19, sir. 20, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. 5, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir.
Bend one leg in. And reach up.
Sir.
Bend forward, touch your toes. As you stretch, imagine yourself as a black sash leader. What does that look like, right? Right, strong, focused, flexible. 1, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. Look to your toes.
5,
Look to
sir.
your toes.
6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 10, sir. 11, sir.
Pull toes back in.
13, sir. 14, sir. 15, sir. 16, sir.
Yep. Pull the back.
18, sir. 19, sir. 20, sir. 2, sir.
3, sir, 4, sir, 5, sir, 6, sir, 7, sir,
Don't push
8, sir, 9, sir, 30, sir.
And switch.
Sir.
Reach up. Yeah, like that. Bend forward, touch your toes.
Sir.
1, sir.
2, sir, 3, sir, 4, sir, 5, sir, 6, sir, 7, sir, 8, sir, 9, sir, 10, sir,
11, sir. 12, sir. 13, sir. 14, sir. 15, sir. 16, sir. 17, sir. 18, sir. 19, sir. 20, sir.
1, sir,
2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir.
6, sir,
7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 30, sir. Bottom of the feet together. Bend forward, touch your nose to your toes or as far as you can go.
Sir.
And the seated angle, legs wide apart. Lift yourself up and turn to your right.
Sir.
Turn and shift to the other side.
Sir.
And back to center. A seated angle, legs wide apart.
Sir.
Walk back and arms up, back straight. There you go. Kind of make the, pull the shoulders back a lot. Like too much. Like really make, yep. And then the head go up. Like I cannot pull down your, yep. 1, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir.
5, sir,
6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 10, sir. 11, sir. 12, sir.
There you go.
13, sir.
14, sir. 15, sir. 16, sir. 17, sir. 18, sir. 19, sir. 20, sir. 1, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir. 6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 30, sir. Reach to one side.
Sir.
And reach to the other side.
Sir.
So both sides, touch your head to the floor or as far as you can go.
Sir.
1, sir.
2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir. 6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 10, sir. 11, sir. 12, sir. 13, sir. 14, sir. 15, sir. 16, sir. 17, sir. 18, sir. 19, sir. 20, sir. 1, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir. 6, sir. 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 10, sir.
And last stretch, feet straight out in front. Then one leg back and lean back.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
And switch.
Yes,
Sir.
And stand up. Twist it out. Do any additional stretches.
Sir.
I want you to take a quick break and come right back out. Quick break, come right back out. Alright, so guess what we're on now? Saber and Drunkin and Dragon. Drunkin comes first. So what you'll have to start doing is bringing your saber, of course. Dragon is very short, so who thinks they can learn 5 moves today? Right, some of you have done Dragon before, and if you've done Dragon, you remember it. Or the Drunkin section. Okay, so it's alright if you don't remember it, unless it's like your 4th time, then you should remember it. So, look, I want y'all to scoot diagonally, everybody scoot that way. So you're right a little bit, not everybody, just that way. And then y'all scoot that way so you have some space. Might step up a little bit, William. Right, and scoot over Ian. A lot. Right there is good. Let's take it, stand.
Yes,
Sir, stand tall.
Yes,
Sir. So we're gonna pretend that we finished Cranes. We're gonna do the end of Crane. So we're gonna do our tame the tiger, shoot the tiger, right? So we're here. Very good. Now traditionally, you always wanna be behind the leader. So whoever's the leader, you have to be behind that person. Does that make sense? Scoot back, Sophie. Scoot back, Maddie. Yep. So at no point during the form should you be right next to me or in front of me. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Right, so you have to lead from, you have to follow from the back. For here, this is just to be sure that everyone can see. So I stomp, I'm gonna cross my feet and bring my arms. Yes, that's correct, right? So just as I was here, I'm just gonna bring this hand in, right? So they're gonna drop. Cross. When I step to this one, I'm not gonna pivot the way I did in Crane, right? I'm just gonna step even, because I'm gonna step to a horse. And when I step to my horse, it's kind of like I'm driving with my shoulder, right? So that I'm leaning forward, I'm not upright. I'm leaning forward, and I'm going in here. Now, once I've done that, I'm gonna shift into my bow stance and open that arm, and let my whole body move as one. Boom. Right palm is up, left palm is down. Now I'm gonna stomp and cross, and bring that same hand that's up back over the top, cross, step in with the bow, lean with the shoulder, and then I'm gonna open, boom. Shift, right, take that right foot, step out, and shift. We're gonna do a block. One finger asks the question, and keep your right hand chambered. Reset. More or that again? That again, okay, reset. So from Hanging Tiger, which is the end of Crane. Right, bring your hands in, cross, 1, 2, step to a horse, driving shoulder, and open. Cross, right hand is on top. Cross, step, coming with the shoulder, and open. Shift, one finger asks the question. Bow stance, this is bow stance. And the hand is really close to the face. Bend the front knee, bend this front knee, and lean with your left, stay there, and then lean with your body. So don't bend the knee more, and then make this horizontal with the floor. Make your elbow, your forearm parallel with the floor. There you go, chamber up, turn your chest toward your knee, and still block out this way, turn your head this way, but turn your chest toward your knee. Bend the knee more, bigger stance. Gotta get some shoes, man. It's hard to do low stands if you're gonna slide all over the floor. That's correct. And back. Feet together. That hurt the thigh a lot. If you were doing it correctly, the thigh should have been burning. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, when we do our one finger ask the question, we're doing a block, kind of like an outside block, or a beauty looks in the mirror just with the one finger. So I can't stay upright and do one finger. Does that make sense? So I can't go like this. Right? Because it's not that kind of outside block. If my head stays here and I do a block, they punch me in my face, and I kind of brought their hand to my face. The point in me blocking and moving my head is so that when they punch, I make contact with the punch, and then I move my head off that line. So if they continue, they'll go past me. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So it's more evasive and less, right, super stiff. So I'm going to block and off the line, right? So you have to come from here, you have to center. That means you also have to duck a little bit by bending your body. You can't just shift like this. Does that make sense? You got to bend a little bit. Let's give it a try. 8, drunken God. Palm is up, palm is up, palm is up. Old man exits the cave. Left palm is up. Shift, one finger, ask the question.
Ask the question.
Feet together. Now, how many of you walk around like this? Not usually. Can you see well if your head is sideways? Turn the head sideways, try to see how well you can see.
I can see pretty well.
Probably not as good as you could when you had your head upright, correct? All right, now, so if that's the case, then don't do that in your form. If you wouldn't fight like this, or walk around like this, then you wouldn't want to do your kung fu like this either. Does that make sense? When you do your kung fu, you want your eyes to stay oriented the same so you can see well. So when I do my one finger, I don't want to go like this. I want to go like this. So my body did, my head didn't, right? Does that make sense? So you can keep your head upright and still block so you can see. Right? Because what if you have to just get on the ground and fight this person that's super tall? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Right? So you don't want to do it like this. All right, let's give it a try.
Yes, sir.
Go to Tame the Tiger, Shoot the Tiger. 8 Drunken Gods. Old man exits the cave. One finger asks a question. close to the face. Yep. First star punching method. It's okay if you don't know it. First star punching method. Second star punching method. Two fists continually punching downward. Immediately punching upward. That's literally all of the drunken section. That's it. That's why I said, who can learn 5 moves today? Feet together. Right? That was pretty quick. Right there. All right, let's do it again. Taming tiger. Let's see what you got. Then we're going to go over a couple more things. 8 drunken gods. Old man exits the cave. One finger asks the question. First star punching method. Second star punching method. Two fists continually punching downward. Immediately punching upward. Feet together. Okay. So now after, when we do the 8 drunken gods and old man exit the cave, this is a throw of sorts. And it's very similar to Aikido or some jiu-jitsu. It's a mix of a lot of stuff, right? So essentially, you have to be still. You have to make a plus sign, be still. You have to make a plus sign with your body, with their body, right? Because I'm trying to knock him over. So essentially, he's throwing a punch. Just stick this arm out like this. He's throwing a punch, and I've ducked it. I said, be still. You can't flinch as a red sash. All right, no flinch. So I'm coming here. I have to make a plus sign. That's why my stance was the way it was. So now that I'm here behind him, I'm going to knock him over my knee. That's right. So that arm comes in. Wow, that's what that comes there for. Right? So when I open with the steps, 1, 2, and I come in, I'm driving with the shoulder because I'm putting shoulder to ribs. Get him off balance, and then I'm going to drive my shoulder over my knee, over my leg, and right, knock him over. It's pretty simple. It's very quick, and you'll see a lot in UFC. So let's give it a try one more time with that in mind. With that in mind, because you can also do that holding an arm. That's what the other hand is for, right? So you grab that hand, and you pull down, and you really drive your shoulder into their armpit. And now they're up and off balance. Because you're in the armpit. All right, does that make sense?
Sir.
Shoulders in the armpit. All right, let's try it. Here. So now with that in mind, I want you to move with that in mind. So 8 drunken gods. Right, now that I'm here, I've driven with the shoulder. Now I'm going to open. I'm trying to move all the way at once. Open. Old man, exit the cave. Right, so you're leaning forward a little bit, driving in, you're going to shift. One finger asks the question. Keep your head upright so you can see, and you're going to block with the back fist. And when you block with the back fist, you're going to turn the toes out. So notice I did not shift my weight. My weight is still on the right leg. I'm just going to adjust this back foot. Yes. So don't shift into it. Now I'm going to push and shift and strike. Same thing. Back fist with the other hand and point out with the toes. I'm going to correct the hips. Shift. Strike. Very similar to crane wing punching. So that front foot is, the front hand is popping with the top of the fist. Yes. Outside block. And this will start, sorry, not outside block. So after we go here, we're going to go another back fist and punch downward. So we're going to go back fist as a blocking and punch downward. And now we're going to go back fist upward and uppercut upward. Leaving this hand above our head for striking and blocking. So it's going to kind of stay rounded over our head. It can't be back like this. Rounded over the head. And we came up and uppercut. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
When we do uppercuts, notice I'm not curving here. It's a neutral fist. You'll work your angle as you need to, right? So if I'm uppercutting, I'm going to curve in right when I need to get the angle I want. Does that make sense?
Yes,
So
sir.
I want to try to keep the wrist neutral so we're not breaking the wrist, curving in all the way. Does that make sense? Right now, take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to run those together. When you take your break, if you're going to sit down, you might as well stretch. strike, notice how the hands pass each other. Boom. Does that make sense? Now, one is going straight down with a slight curve in it, right? Like that. That's called a hooking fist, a hook fist. This is a hooking or a back hooking fist. So if you did, right, so if I went here, put your hands right here, both hands back there, back, right? Yep. So he's there. If I were gonna block with a blocking back fist, I'd come across here like that, push up. I have control over just directing. Now I'm not gripping it because he can still slip out. It's just enough to direct. And if I'm directing, when he pokes here, that's the one finger ask the question. Pull this stiff, man. There. I'm gonna pull down with the fist and break the arm. Right, so this one is yanking and this one's yanking and they go past each other. That's why we go with so much momentum. So he pokes here, pull it back and pull. Pull it back, pull it back and pull. Pull. Pull! What is going on here? I need a good loop. There you go. Pull, and keep leaving it out there. Maddie, come here. You'll see what I mean. Scoot over. Watch closely. Pull. Does that make sense? Pull down, strike, and it breaks. All right, so now let's give it a try. With that in mind, they have to go past each other. Imagine there's an arm in there, right? So at the arm, you've got the wrist, and you're gonna pop right, that backhand is gonna hit right at the elbow. Ooh, that's right, it hurts. It is kind of brutal, but you told them to leave you alone, didn't you?
Nah.
Okay, good.
They didn't listen.
They didn't listen, I told you to quit. Alright, so from here, 8, drunken gods. Drive that shoulder and shift. Old man, exit the cave. One finger asks the question. Back fist goes out. First star punching method. Back fist, second star punching method. Both fists are flat. Two fists, the same thing, back fist, two fists, continually punching downward. And after that, we're going to come right back up. Back fist, immediately punching upward. Peek up. So I think we have a little bit of space. We're going to do a little bit of pad work. Does that make sense? Okay. When you are using your pad, you're going to block, for the sake of today, you're going to block with one and strike with the second. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Now, both of these can be blocks, 1 and 2. There's a way to use them. We'll go over that later. But right now, we're going to go block and strike. Yes? All right. Now, let's see. Mr. Payne, I'd like you to stand with Aiden over here.
Sir.
Maddie, stay here with William. Leo, come stand with Ian. Sophie, come stand with Sophie. Aileen, go stand with Sophie. Ian, stand with Leo. Stand up, Leo. All right, go stand in front of the partner that I gave you. Not in front of me. Go stand in front of the partner that I gave you, right here. Long ways. Turn the face like you're doing poison hands. There you go. Yes, yes. Turn. Yes. Help your partner. Let's go, Saul. Sophie, help your partner. Tell her what to do. Y'all switch. Y'all switch. All right, so the same way myself, Maddie, and William return, the same way Leo and Ian return, the same way Aiden and Mr. Payne are turned, Sophie and Aileen should also be turned. Look how we're facing each other. Aileen, look at how we're doing it. Y'all go, one of y'all go stand in front of each other. All right, so watch with Saul. The block that we're doing today, we're gonna strike the pad only with one hand. And we're gonna block the other. So when we do our back fist, that's a block and a strike. So we're gonna pretend strike with one, and gonna strike with the second. Not quite. Watch Maddie do it. Stand square. Square, relax. Oh! You keep the elbow in. Elbow in. Yes. Go again. Tap. Go. Tap. One of them's a strike, one of them's a block. Almost. Who knows the moves? Who can show us the moves? Show me the move. Go. Let's try this some more. Say the stance.
Yes, sir.
Stand tall.
Yes, sir.
Tame the tiger, shoot the tiger.
Oh,
Attack.
sorry.
8 drunken gods. All right, so if you're in my front row, you gotta get it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I won't accept anything less. All right, let's reset. Some of the moves require a little bit more focus. This is the end of the form, so this is part of that. This is one of those things. All right, so fist to the sleeve. Fist, do that move. So, and yes, very good. Good bow stance, good bow stance, good bow stance. Try not to let the toes go over let the knee go over your toes. 8 drunken gods. Old man exits the cave. One finger asks a question. First star punching method. Second star punching method. The move that we're doing on the pad is this move. 2 fists continually punching downward. Does that make sense? So both of the techniques have to travel the same direction. 2 fists continually traveling downward. All right, feet together. 2 fists immediately punching downward. All right, so we got 1. That's the block. Block. And then 2. All right, so it should follow. So this one should be kind of dangling back, right? Because you don't know you're about to fight. You're just about to swing your arms, so relax, right? Separate the feet. Y'all stand in the grocery store like this? It's super disciplined. Right? Yes, right? So this one has to stay down. So you got block 1 and then strike 2. Does that make sense? They should come big, real big, swinging arms. So block 1, oh, block 1, 2. It should come from down. Block 1, 2.
We turning our torso at all?
You should turn your torso, that's correct. Okay? 8, and Mr. Payne, here you go.
Sir.
Begin if you have a partner. All right, now, come over here. Stand right here. Only one of you has to have the pad on right now, so whoever's highest rank is going to use the pad first. If you're not highest rank, there's no reason for you to hand your shoe, go ahead and put it behind you. Now for y'all, I don't want y'all to worry about the strike, I don't want y'all to worry about, I don't want y'all to worry about the block, I want y'all to worry about the strike. Does that make sense? Okay, so,
That one.
so hold your pad out. You like this. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pretend that you're doing your block. You're gonna pretend you did your block. So you're gonna block 1, pretend. So don't touch the pad. Pretend, and you're gonna strike 2. Does that make sense? Okay, now when you strike 2, the arm is straight, and then it bends. Ah, does that make sense? Okay, so take it slow, but block 1. Keep the pad out though. Keep the pad out. So I got block 1, and you're gonna come in 2. Curve in at the right time, and you'll catch the. Okay,
So here,
okay, bow to your partner and give it a try.
this one's straight. Yeah, bring it over and then at the end.
Don't touch the pad with the first one. Pretend. I said pretend. Only punch. Only hit with the strike.
Yeah. Yeah. So it depends.
It's a weak block, man. Block it. No, that's weak. Use your muscles. Use your muscles. Okay. This one has to be down a little bit. It has to stay down. You see how it came up? It has to stay down until you see this. No, you're missing. Don't miss. It has to swing. Like that. Like that. That's better. That's weak. That's weak. Elbow in. Elbow in. What's elbow in mean? That's elbow in. Elbow in. Elbow in. Not down. In. 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 Here. In.
Say that. Yeah. Coming?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Down.
That's it.
In. Up. Oh, I caught your forehead. Let me get it. Oh! What is going on over here? You gotta turn your body. Put the pad on backwards. 8. Put the pad on backwards. Just turn. So you're just going straight with 1, straight with the second. You don't have to twist your body. Go a little higher with that.
Sometimes.
Go higher with the face height. Go down. Go straight, go straight. Go up. Go higher. And now to save your feet, I want you to do it like this. So if I come on straight on, and I curve it, continue to turn, and I curve it right time, it's all bicep.
Okay.
Not that. This.
I'm using too much shoulder.
Yes, after you block the first one, you come in here. All that will come in, yeah, just kind of, yep,
Okay.
like, yeah, look it
Oh,
up.
interesting.
And then don't let it go turn like that, keep it like this. You want to catch numbers. Yep.
Star punching method, kind of punch.
I like a Superman punch too. Be still, be still. Be still. Superman punch. You duck whatever they're throwing, and you, wow, come over the top.
Yeah.
This is very similar to blocking.
I cannot hit you because you're out of my way. I will not win.
Go over to one more time. Stay here, bring it in. Closer to you. Watch your arm, bring it up. That's enough. That's all I need.
Oh, I can't.
That's it, do it again.
Really?
Yes. Now we shift. Yes. it. Not quite. Yeah, that was one. Yeah. Almost got that connect. One more time on that.
If I lost it or not.
Yeah, that's better. It's much more connected. Yeah. So, and then waste of falling.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff will be time.
Yeah.
Stuff that only practice will get. I can expose you to, but your body will get exposed to. Yeah. All right.
Should we switch?
Switch. If you haven't switched, you're supposed to switch.
Sorry.
See what we got.
We both forget each other now.
Don't get ready for that one yet. Only focus on the block.
So,
There's no power in it. It's weak.
so,
No, it's weak.
it's the same, remember?
No, it's still weak. Close. You hold the pad. Grab a pad. Hurry up. Your hands. Cup your hands. Cup. Yep. T.
Okay.
Okay, now watch. Watch the strike as it happens. There's different variations and ways to do the strike. Specifically for this one, if you imagine a curved palm, and you've ever seen a fruit roll up?
Yeah.
Imagine the fruit roll up like rolling up opposite, right? So not y'all be still, don't touch that, put that down. Be still, listen, be still, put that down. Listen, don't move your bodies, just listen. So now think if you rolled, if the gravity worked opposite and you rolled the fruit roll up upward. Imagine doing that with your arm. Does that make sense? So the fingers curve, then the wrist a little bit, and then you kind of drive in, you curve in. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So you kind of working your angle from here. And it's best done from a straight arm, right? So if I just block, it's a trick, right? It looks like, oh, he's wide open. Even if, remember I told you this strike is also a what?
Block.
A block. So even if, I always tell you never block to the inside of someone. Does that make sense? Because now he has another hand to punch with. Boy, nobody does that in a real fight. Punch over here. Does that make sense? Right, so he punches with one, right, and I block it. I don't want to leave myself open. So I could block with that, or go ahead and do both, and strike, because he didn't strike fast enough. Does that make sense? But I want to make sure that this hand comes out, punch, come. Because then, one, this coming out, same time, shift and strike at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sir.
So what you'll start to learn is a lot of the techniques and moves that we use, they trade, right? So as I blocked with this one came back. That's why we have draw a bow to shoot an arrow, right? You're getting ready, so I'm trading. Right, so it's 1, 2, and then something else. There's always one blocking and one striking. One blocking, one striking. Or, yeah, exactly, you can just keep doing it. All right, now I want you to switch partners, Maddie. I would like you to switch places with 8. Leo, switch places with 8, Lee. You're gonna stay here. For a second. Move. If I gave you a partner, you gotta move now. Move now. Who's your partner? Huh? Okay, grab your pad. Make sure y'all are with each other and y'all bow to your partner and get started. Highest rank should hold the pad first. You should hold the pad first. Did you pick your pad from where you came from? Where were you before? Where were you? Your pad should go with you, so wherever your pad was, you should use your own pad. No one should use their partner's pad. There you go. All right. Here, block 1, block 1.
Keep blasting that off.
Bring your hands to the front. Yeah, set them down on the ground. No, just set them on the ground.
So this would be
Alright, now, we did run through master's path a little bit, so I wanted to give you all an idea of what we're gonna do in the next class. So next class we'll be starting on, anybody remember? I made my decision, we'll be doing butterfly knives, double sabers for master's path. Actually, they might not even be here. No. Yeah, they're not here, probably at home. Alright, so look, these are double butterfly knives. Now, they can be substituted for double sabers, right? Because they both have one flat edge and one sharp one, right? They start together like this, so because they're supposed to be inconsistent, not supposed to know you have two blades. It starts very similar to some of our other forms. So we'll start here and we'll go 1, 2. Yeah, very similar to saber, right? So once we go here, we'll go 3, and we'll turn, and we'll jump, cross, spear, kick, jump, punch, elbow. Oh, sorry, no, punch, and then crossbow bends the willow. And then chop, and then we're gonna grab, cross behind, and kick, cut, and separate. So the reason I want to show you that first is so that you have an opportunity to either get your weapons or remember to bring them. Some of you have done this before, so bring yours from home. We do have some to borrow, but after those sets are borrowed, there's just double collie sticks or the double wooden knives from the disarming classes. Does that make sense? All of those things work just fine because if you're using a collie stick, these are just pointers for next class. If you're using a collie stick, and if you notice your thumb is the perfect shape, right? And as you can imagine, one dull edge and one sharp where the curve is, then any strike that you do with your thumb, it'll show you the correct motion that a blade would travel. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Right, so if I'm using a collie stick, that'll let me know, right? The way you turn is the way you would be able to for a blade. Does that make sense?
And the way you get your hand is around it, it's like thumbs up.
Right, like a thumbs up and a small dagger.
So if it's doing it right,
That's right.
I have thumbs up.
Yes.
Was it still like master's path people? Or, okay, I was like, that's sometimes
Yeah, I said master's pad.
master's path.
Feet together. We'll do that next class. Go ahead.
Master's senior instructor.
Bow to advanced and intermediate level students. Very good job.